Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome and welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. It's another day of curiosity and the art of enjoying life. Yesterday, we started a reflection question lightning round. Rather than having one that we focus on, we had 5 different ones. And we started it off when I listened back to it, where we were both going to answer the questions, but then, of course, we run out of time.
And we want our listeners to also answer the questions for themselves. So we really ran out of time because we didn't really give any
Completely.
time for that. So hopefully everyone did that throughout the day yesterday.
I hope y'all did. Because of that, I answered yesterday's questions, and Annette, now you're going to answer the questions we have for today.
And today we're focusing on our daily life. Yesterday was our current life in general.
Yeah, the overarching feel of our lives, not specifically day to day.
And we're doing this little inventory because the art of enjoying life is to look at all of your life and to see what is serving you and what's not serving you.
Okay, are you ready, Annette?
I'm ready. I didn't look at the questions until I sat down. I didn't want to pre-answer them in my mind.
I'm glad, because when we pre-answer and look for the right answer, it will probably be different than the off-the-cuff answer. I've had answers or conversations that I've planned in my head. It starts happening, then what is in my heart is so different than what I planned. So here's our first question. What is your favorite part of a typical day? And I'm going to give you workday and weekend day options.
Oh, okay, good. So I love working with our clients and I love working with you. So on the work day, I would say my favorite part is when we finally get to work after I've done all my things that I need to do before work, sit down at the coaching table, start our first session. That is what I love. Now, my weekend days or days when we're not working, I love having dinner with Dawn. It's relaxing, usually make a bigger meal than do during the week. And I love having time where don't have to rush, don't have to hurry, just get to sit down and have a lovely meal. And I do try to make it a lovely meal on the days when I'm not rushing home from work.
With both of those, I'm particularly thinking of your dinners with Dawn. Were those planned for their enjoyment? Did you do things differently? Is that what you've always done? How did that all come up? I'm wondering, did you look at your life and say this would add to it?
Well, I always have enjoyed cooking and making something that I think the people that I love will enjoy. Specifically, though, with Don, he's always supporting us, always encouraging us, always, what can I do to help you today while you're gone? And I do like to show him that I care about him by making him a nice dinner, and I know he loves that. So probably there's a lot of intentionality there with, I know he likes it, I really like it. During the work week, I can't really do it. It's intentional.
I already knew that, but I had to ask because in our early working days, there are a lot of times we ate dinner at work. And then
Yes.
that went away because you said you want to have dinner with Dawn. You didn't like having dinner at work because then your connection with Dawn, of course, it was still there, but you weren't present for dinner and you didn't like that.
No, I don't want to not have dinner with Dawn 4 nights a week. I just don't want to do it.
So that was part of a shift in our work where you told me that. And of course, I just said, okay, and that's fine. And then things changed. Here's your second question. What is your least favorite part of a typical day? And let's do weekend and weekday for this one too.
My least, I hate.
Hate. Oh my goodness. Okay. Everyone just listen in. She never says hate.
Okay, I like getting ready for work, but I hate having to rush to get there on time.
I hear this so much. So we both have Oura rings which track your stress. And Annette will always say, the only time I ever have stress is when I'm trying to get somewhere.
When I'm trying to get somewhere or I don't like it, like if we're at somebody's home because we visit our clients at their home, and then that session might go just a little late, and then we have to get back to our office for the next session. I don't like rushing. I know that sounds like, well, we all have to rush. That would be my least favorite part of my day. Having to rush to make it to some place on time. Well, maybe I put some anxiety in there myself because I don't want to be late. We have clients, they have to get babysitters for their kids. They plan their day around coming in to see us. I don't want to be flying in there, not prepared. So I like to be at our office 10 to 15 minutes before the session is going to start. Can't always do that, especially if we're having a busy day, but that would be my least favorite part of the day.
For work days, what about on weekends?
Not being able to sleep in.
On weekends? Don't you sleep in on weekends?
Not as long as I'd like.
Oh, okay.
I have too much to do to catch up. At least that's the story I'm telling myself. If I have to get up early on a weekend, I don't like it.
Okay. Here's your next question. If every day looked like yesterday, would you be satisfied with your life?
Oh my goodness, yes. I would very much be.
In what way?
Satisfied. Well, yesterday was Monday, so you and I, we do Zoom sessions on Monday. We make our podcast. We plan our week. We write some emails. We get all organized for our week. And I love every minute of it. There's not a part of that day that I don't like.
Isn't that nice to have nice days?
It is. But you notice those days I'm not rushing from here to there. We're having Zoom sessions. So I'm right here in the podcasting studio making the Zoom sessions. I think it's important to look at these things because rushing and trying to get to a place on time is part of life, but it's almost like, well, but is there so many other parts of life that you love? And if there are, well, then that's just part of life and that's part of living.
In a way, you could say that's a good problem to have. You have so many great things on your calendar that you have to rush between them.
Yes. But Mondays are some of my favorite days because Zoom sessions I love. We get to spend time with our clients. They've carved out this time to be with us, and typically they don't live in our community. They are clients that we have that live outside of our community. It's just a joy.
Okay, here's the last question. And you'll notice one word sounds like a word or is a word that you have used a bunch of times already. Where are you rushing through experiences instead of enjoying them?
Oh, there's that rushing word.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, the type of rushing that I was talking about isn't rushing through an experience.
It's rushing from place to place.
It's rushing from place to place. I don't know if I rush. I used to rush. And I'm trying to be, well, this would be like the last 7 to 8 years of my life, trying to be more intentional and also very present in each moment. That's important to me. And so I would say I don't typically rush in my life, except if I have a client waiting for me and I don't want to be late.
I'm going to say that's an accurate and honest answer. I'm since I know you so well, I'm the judge of these. That is an accurate answer because I know you. You're a slow and steady.
Yes, very
You're
much
so,
slow and steady.
Slow and steady that sometimes I'm saying, okay, let's go.
I know.
And then I'm the one who's rushing. And maybe this would be a great question for me. I'll answer this one quick. Where am I rushing through experiences instead of enjoying them? When I feel overwhelmed and I feel like I'm up against the clock. And my calendar and my schedule's way too full. If that's the day, then I feel like, and I've explained, that's what takes some of the fun out of my life. Okay, I got to do this in 5 minutes. I have 10 minutes for this. I have 15 minutes for this. I have 25 minutes for this. And then I rushed through them, and no one told me that that was the time limit. I just made that up for myself. So that does take some of the fun out of life.
And as I will frequently say to you, you make it harder because you think we have to rush so much.
I know.
We don't have to rush that much. yeah, we have to get to the place on time, but you will start rushing at 10 o'clock in the morning because you're afraid we're not going to make it to our 7 o'clock appointment. It's more just take this one step at a time. As I always try to tell you, slowly, slowly, step by step. That's my mantra for my life. And it works. It works slowly, slowly, step by step, because I don't get distracted. If I'm going step by step, I'm just keeping my eyes on the ball, making sure that I'm doing my very best at every moment. That is quite helpful. I wasn't always like this, though.
So now it's time for you all to reflect for yourselves. Thank you, Annette, for being so vulnerable and courageous, sharing what came up for you. Here are your reflection questions for reflecting on your daily life. What is my favorite part of a typical day? What is my least favorite part of a typical day? And you could do that like Annette did, switching between weekend and weekday if they are very different. If every day looked like yesterday, would I be satisfied with my life? And our last question, where am I rushing through experiences instead of enjoying them? Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.